So here is the storyline of episode 80. At the beginning of this episode, Minki comes to the main family's house to pick up Gong-hee, and then Myung-ja tells Minki that Gong-hee is upstairs to meet Dan-soo, but she is also not sure whether Dan-soo has come home or not. Minki goes upstairs, and how shocked he is when he sees Dan-soo leaning on Gong-hee's shoulder. That makes Minki angry and he reflexively punches Dan-soo. Minki is angry because Gong-hee is his wife, but Dan-soo casually leans his head on Gong-hee's shoulder. Gong-hee stops Minki and asks Minki to wait for her in the car for a while because there is something she wants to talk to Dan-soo about. But Minki refuses. He pulls Gong-hee's hand to take Gong-hee home, but Gong-hee lets go of Minki's hand and shouts at Minki to wait for her for a while. After Gong-hee screams, Gong-hee realizes that she has made a mistake and she apologizes to Minki because she has screamed. This is where Dan-soo tells Gong-hee to go with Minki, and he also apologizes to Minki because he has crossed the line. He also thanks Gong-hee for confronting him. When they arrive at Minki's home, Minki asks Gong-hee to explain what really happened. Gong-hee says that she has explained everything while they are on the way home, but that does not satisfy Minki because Gong-hee only says that Dan-soo needs comforting. Minki feels that Gong-hee is keeping something secret, but Gong-hee denies it all and says that in the future, she will be more careful. She also apologizes to Minki. Minki does the same thing, realizing that he was too angry with Gong-hee, and in the future he promises to be careful. The next day, Gong-hee knocks on Dan-soo's door, but there is no answer. She guesses that Dan-soo doesn't come to work, and she wonders why Dan-soo is really planning. But then the door of Dan-soo's room opens, and Dan-soo comes out. Dan-soo sees Gong-hee's face is a little different, so Dan-soo asks what really happened to Gong-hee. Gong-hee says that nothing happened to her. In his heart, Dan-soo feels that something has happened to Gong-hee, and to cheer up Gong-hee, he has to become Gon, the snotty-faced kid who was Gong-hee's perfect childhood friend. Dan-soo changes his face from sad to cheerful. He pinches Gong-hee's cheek, saying that Gong-hee always smiles after getting a promotion, but why does the face become sad now? Gong-hee feels pain, so Dan-soo releases his hand from pinching Gong-hee's cheek, and he asks Gong-hee to smile like Gong-hee always does. Then Gong-hee asks if Dan-soo is okay. She also apologizes about yesterday. She didn't cheer up Dan-soo, she caused trouble instead. Dan-soo smiles and he says that he is actually embarrassed because he lets Gong-hee see how weak he is. Gong-hee thinks that what Dan-soo did last night was not embarrassing, so Dan-soo shouldn't think like that. Gong-hee wants to know if Dan-soo has talked to Audrey. Dan-soo says that he hasn't talked to Audrey because he feels it's not worth his precious time. He says that he doesn't know the person, and the person is a stranger to him. At the end of the scene, Dan-soo tells Gong-hee to go back to Gong-hee's work and not waste time worrying about him, because if Gong-hee keeps worrying about him, then Gong-hee's husband will hit him again. After Dan-soo enters his room, Gong-hee knows that Dan-soo is pretending to smile. She can see everything. Then also in this episode, there is Gina who gives a proposal to Minki related to collaboration with Hermes. Minki sees the proposal very interesting and he agrees to work with Gina in the collaboration with Hermes, where Gina will handle the design for the collaboration. Gina, who sees the tension between Minki and Gong-hee, smiles. Maybe she feels that this is the right time for her to re-enter Minki's life. Then on the same day, Kyung-tae keeps his promise to Dan-soo where he will tell the truth to someone before he tells Dan-soo, and this time he meets that someone. That someone is Audrey. He kneels in front of Audrey. Audrey, who sees Kyung-tae kneeling in front of her, feels bad. Especially Kyung-tae says that Kyung-tae has done something wrong to Audrey. Audrey feels that Kyung-tae has always been nice to her, but then Audrey's expression and reaction change when Kyung-tae says that Kyung-tae was the one who killed Dan-soo's father. Another story in this episode is Myung-ja, who often misses the time to contact Sun-yi, and every time she has time to contact Sun-yi doesn't receive a phone call from her. Actually, Sun-yi doesn't receive a phone call from Myung-ja because she is going to a photo studio where she takes photos for her death photos. She doesn't want her family, especially Myung-ja, to bother taking care of her who has blood cancer, so she decides not to tell Myungja about her illness so she can die peacefully without bothering Myungja. Okay everyone, that's the storyline this time. Thank you for watching my video.